Off in the distance is my favorite mountain, the lovely Moose's Tooth, a peak that's 10,335 feet high. It's amazing to realize that Oli is cruising 15,000 feet below Denali, which towers at an impressive 20,310 feet. What a blessing to see such grand mountains so close when we're used to seeing them from the cabin.
Getting close, thank goodness. Look at the view behind me. It's getting better and better. We are close to the peak. Oh, no, we're not. We're not. Oh,
That's the peak?
yep.
No.
I think so. Well, I made a big mistake. It's fixable, but it's going to be a step backwards instead of a step forward. I totally spaced on the entire width of the camper from here over here to the other side. State of Alaska allows to go as wide as 8 foot and 6 inches is maximum. And I think we're actually almost at 9 feet. What I need to do is now I'm going to take the panels off, and then I'm going to remove the 2x2 and cut the roof overhang back on both ends until we get to 8 foot and 5 inches from the edge of the plastic to the edge. So a complete total width is 8 foot 5 inches. So let's get it fixed. Oops. There's the first one on the second half. Let's make sure it lines up with the rafter. Now we need to copy the hole for our skylight. Measure 4 times, cut once. Right here. We're going to do this a little different this time. We're going to paint the first coat on the sawhorses, let it dry for a little bit, and then we install it. In the meantime, while this is drying, we can go ahead and take the plastic panels off one more time and then just fix this edge, cut it back to the right length, and put the panels back on. I'm glad I didn't put all the screws in. That makes it a little less painful. We got the glue on, so that means I have to screw the entire sheet real quick here before it gets too dry. Okay, here comes the moment of truth. We did snap a line from here all the way to the back. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut as much as I can with the jigsaw, and then we probably have to go with the handsaw. Let's get it over and done with so we can continue to make progress. Well, there's one piece. Well, I might be able to reuse the same piece. I'm glad it didn't smash up or split or anything. It's literally the same way it was from the beginning. Do a little bit of touch-up paint at the end, and that's it. That really wasn't too bad. And I'm glad we caught it, or actually a good friend of mine caught it. He looked at it yesterday and just kind of walked through, and he's like, how wide is it actually? And I said, should be a little over 7 feet. And then we looked at the overhang, and it looks more like almost like 10 inches, the old overhang. I'm like, oops, I think we're too wide. So I'm glad he caught that. Okay, the last step as far as the repair work goes, we just have to cut the plywood off, and then we'll touch up the paint, and we're good for paneling. Almost like brand new. So what if we are still too wide? Could you imagine that? Oh my goodness, I would cry. Okay, so let's do it. 8'6" is the max, right? 8'5". Okay, so we are at 8'4". And then we have to curl this part down here again to make sure the wind doesn't get underneath the plastic, and try to tear it off when we drive down the road. Okay, let's see how this works. So I think I just had an idea what I'm going to do, because even though I put a lot of screws in here, I'm going to have a bunch of waves in here, which I don't like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 90-degree flashing the whole length here, but I'm going to do this at the very end, and then literally just go over the 2x2 like this, and then we're going to screw it in from the front and on the bottom, and this will definitely stabilize everything here and protect it from the wind. Definitely on this side what we're going to do. Every single one is up now. I didn't screw everything yet because I want to make sure we get our ridge cap, and then we'll finish that, and then we do the field screws and also the edge pieces I was explaining earlier. And that is it as far as the roof goes, and then we can focus on windows, doors, and the outside siding. Okay, so I got all the pieces for 2 windows, and here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to notch out half of the thickness on each piece. So basically my corners are going to overlap. So I'm going to take half of one and half of the other one, and then they just go together. So notch them out, and then we have a nice connection in the corner, glue, and most likely put a couple little screws in there or nails. And then we can go ahead and router like a notch out for our glass piece going into the window frame. Top, bottom. Yeah, and they work pretty good. There's one frame. Could open that window a little bit. A lot of dust in here. A little dusty. Okay, glue. We're gonna clean this up a little bit before we glue it. I'm gonna get 4 clamps and we clamp it together, and we are good for tonight. My least favorite again. I hope it doesn't shatter. I clamped this in again with these two pieces of wood. We got a protective film on top of the plastic still. I got my saw blade adjusted. I guess I'm just gonna go for it. See what happens again. Awesome. It didn't shatter. That's good. Let's see here if this frame is already dry enough. Could use a little longer, but I can't wait. So I need to see if it fits. Yes. And there we go. Now we are out of the rain. No more tarp required. The only thing I need to finish is the seam right here. As you can see, it kind of lifts up a little bit right at the seam. So what I need to do is I need to get longer screws and go on top of that little ridge right here and suck it down to the plywood. Just gonna apply a little bit of silicone, not too much, just to make sure there's not going to be a vibration going on when we're traveling. This is how it's going to go in, and then we'll do a little bit of glue in all these notches. And in we go. Fibs, what are you doing? She wants to help.